address. That is why we have arrested development. That is why nothing seems to be working. Because the convergence of these diverse value systems from the core area North, from the West and from the East is making it impossible for Nigeria to function as a viable state. And that is a recognition that we must, at this very point in time, be able to address as educated people. Not that I hate Nigeria. I hate the name. I despise it with a passion. If you allow me, I wouldn't exist. Israel gave her that name, Nigeria. Before that, you had Oduduwa. Before that, you had Biafra. Before that, you had Kanu Empire, and all these wonderful and weird civilizations. Now, a white man cannot come from Europe and then create an identity for me. Only God in heaven can do that. And I can give an identity to my dog. The only thing you can name are your children and your pets. They are not our fathers. They are Caucasians. We are Black Africans. They have no right being in Africa and giving us names. And that I will never, ever accept.
Military and security experts have said it is impossible for any country to fight 2 civil wars without monumental repercussions. Have you considered this? And what lessons did you learn from the last Nigerian civil war?
The lesson, beginning by addressing your last question, is that we should not have given up. Even though we were overawed portions, Biafra-Nigeria war was the Third World War. Because in that war, if you leave Nigeria and Biafra alone, Biafra would defeat Nigeria anytime, any day. Pound for pound, Biafra would defeat Nigeria anytime, any day. And I make bold to say this. But Britain got involved. They imposed a no-fly zone over Biafra land. They imposed air the back of the world to negotiate with Russia to supply arms to go on. They even brought in Egyptian pilots to fly their planes for them. Nigeria has never won any war in its history. Ordinary Boko Haram, they are begging Niger, they are begging Chad, they are begging Cameroon to help them. They've never won any war. Nigeria has never fought any war. An army is meant to go out to win territories for the country that it claims is coming from. The same way that Lugard led an expeditionary force. Others have not done that before. Anywhere they go, they're humiliated, transpired between 67 to 70 as a Biafra-Nigeria war. Is Biafra versus the whole world. The United States was ambivalent. They never actually, should I say, participated as they should. Britain was there running the whole show. They destroyed Aburi Accord, destroyed the agreement reached between Ojukwu and Gowon. They came back and they instigated a war. That was all they did. There was nothing. I wouldn't see it as a war. And I want to let that tendency to intimidate, that tendency to terrorize, that tendency to subdue, overrule, and then conquer people. It is not going to happen in our time. They will try, but they will fail. The more they focus their attention in the East, the more the terrorists that they themselves bred in the North will overrun them there. They will come again because it's in their nature, and this time around they'll be roundly defeated.
Well, I think with due respect to our men and women of armed forces, I believe they are well rated. I visited them in Liberia. I visited them in Sierra Leone. In Liberia, we were controlling 10 out of 15 counties. In Sierra Leone, I am eternally grateful to them. In fact, at the time, Professor Adeniji was the head of UNANSIL in Sierra Leone. I think it would be unfair to describe us as allies. That's why you had NATO has virtually collapsed the relationship, military ties to other countries. So I'll leave it at that, but done extremely well globally in business, in sciences, in commerce, and so on. Won't they go the way you want to go?
Should be along the line of, had those people been in Nigeria, that would happen for the following reasons. Everybody can become an Almajiri. That's exactly what I have done. I am not shocked nor surprised that we are recording not. Why is it that we cannot wake up Why is it that we have not woken up one morning as a parliamentarian somewhere in Europe? It will never ever happen, because that is not their orientation. That is not how they're living of any progressive society. Why is Nigeria sovereignty and sub-standardization? For the simple reason that people do things based on ethnicity. People want to protect their tribe. Even if they're performing very badly, they want their tribe to become preeminent. And in the process, those men and women who are skilled, and you can see their excellence come to the fore. And that's exactly what has been happening. What we are saying is that once we have Biafra, they will all come back home. And Biafra will quite rightly lack. Africa will keep floundering. And
politics is a game of number. And it has been theorized that the domination you complain about has been made possible because of the lack of unity amongst the peoples of North Central, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest. And that if they unite, they will be able to end the perpetual dominance.
I was referred to me as a youth, but I'm not. I'm a very old man. I may look young, but I'm a very old man. Now, the reason why we supported our young people was because for the first time in living memory, we managed to bridge that divide, to bring everybody closer. Are you not surprised when, following that have failed and will continue, boys club that they formed you in this politics of mediocrity that you find in Nigeria? Were you not surprised and shocked that doing? Those of us in the there is now a record. In Katsina State, there are other tribes other than Hausa and Fulani in Katsina. In Bauchi, their language. Underneath, if you scratch the surface, you will begin to see a lot of, they have more ethnic groups in the north than you have in the south. Many more in the north than you have in the south. But over the years, the Fulani oligarchy have managed to, underneath, they have always succeeded in presenting this united front for the north. Anytime we try that in the south, best to divide us, because the north understand, for goodness sake, Nigeria will be a better. They now appoint, or should I say, rig our governors into office. They go to Ohanese, they bribe a few people to go to Afenifere, they identify. You saw it in full view and in full display on the 20th. People that claim they went to school, people that claim they are senior advocates, people that claim they're enlightened, were the ones that introduced the tribal and ethnic dimension into that very successful protest. And you can see where we are today. Again, they have done it, but of course, they cannot break us. This time around, we just want to let them understand this. The unity between the Igbos and the Yorubas is deeper than End SARS protest. It is far more fundamental than they can.
Now, is Biafra your only option, or you are willing to work with others?
Everything depends on what the people want. I am a Democrat. I am a Republican by genetic disposition. Anything the people want is what they're going to get. My dream and my mission is Biafra. Let's say during a referendum, people decide we want to be, yes, Biafra is good. We can answer Biafra within a union that comprises of Middle Belt, of Oduduwa, and Biafra with a new name. Who am I to say, no, I'm a Democrat. Want people to pursue the Oduduwa Republic. I will help the Middle Belt to do the same. But one thing is paramount. Should our people decide at a referendum or plebiscite to say, we want to maintain a semblance of union with Oduduwa and the Middle Belt, who am I to say no? I am a Democrat and I will go with it. But my primary concern now is the restoration of Biafra.
An audio surfaced recently, I think about 2 weeks ago. It was sent to me by a family member, in which your voice, we heard your voice, directing your operatives to hit certain targets in Lagos. What led to this in a state that has really embraced the people of Southeast and South-South extractions? Do you If that was your voice, do you regret the action, and are you willing to apologize for it?
It is my voice, but what I said was cut and joined together to suit the very message or narrative that our detractors were, should I say, determined to peddle. If you listen to the whole broadcast that I made, you will find out that that very audio that those people, those charlatans put out there in the public domain is not exactly what I intended. But I have said this before and allow me to repeat. If by making the pronouncement that I made on that very day that I was misunderstood, or that the true intentions of what I was wishing or willing to convey was somehow misconstrued, then I apologize for it. Because I believe that it is very, very important that we understand this. I wouldn't want to do anything, either knowingly or unknowingly, to inflame passions in the West. I wouldn't wish to do anything that would cause my Yoruba brothers and sisters alike to think, should I say, to become jittery about what our true intentions are. You made reference to your operatives. I was addressing Nigerian youths right across Nigeria, not just in Lagos. And given the heat of the moment, people were being massacred. I'm not sure that most of those commentators and apologists for Asorok have had their homes invaded before. When Fela speaks, you can hear the way that Fela speaks all the time about Nigeria Army and Nigeria Police. Why? Because Fela was a witness when his house was invaded, and the mother died as a result of it. There's something happened to me. As a result of Nigeria military invasion of my house, my father is dead, and my mother is dead as well. So when people like us with a first-hand experience of the brutality of a very primitive security architecture in a country as backward as Nigeria, you can then begin to appreciate where we're coming from. If I spoke out of turn, if people who listened to what I said misunderstood the true intentions behind the words that I uttered that night, then I do unreservedly apologize, because nobody can divide the Yorubas and the Igbos anymore. It's not going to happen. They will try, but they will not succeed. That I can assure them. What is of concern to us is that those responsible for the slaughter of those people are held responsible. The same way, I hasten to add, that those who are responsible for the murder that we ordered today going on in Obibo will be held accountable. They will and must be held accountable. I do apologize if I offended anyone, but no offense was intended in the first place. I gave an order to Nigerian youths right across the board to do what they did because the Nigerian state is evil. They believe in killing their own children. They believe in suppressing free speech. They believe in breaking up peaceful assembly with the use of force. That type of end. And they must be taught a lesson, and that was exactly what we did.
Okay, let me confess that it was actually that audio that led me to looking for you. You see, I believe that journalists must help their nation to understand some certain people and personalities like yourself. And I want to say at this stage that I'm sending to every...
He is obeying, he is polished and very erudite. He is a scholar and a conscientious one at that. You know, in Nigeria, you have scholars, people who just study for the sake of it, people who just read for the sake of it. He practicalizes what he understands to be humanity. And that is why I love him, I respect him, and I call him a brother. He epitomizes what any intellectual should aspire to be. You intellectualize, that is very, you must have a human side to yourself. He is de-tribalized, as you well know, and I'm sure that in time to come, he will have a very...
efforts to start a movement that will bring the Yorubas and the Igbos together and closer. Are you willing to play a major role in that union?
Yes, we are doing ours on the ground. You saw the protest on the 1st of October right across the world, Yoruba One Voice and IPOB. So we are doing ours. That was why I categorically stated, and without any, they will thrive, but they will fail. It can't be broken anymore. So I am more than willing and able to serve in whatever capacity that is required of me to make sure that these two great nations pilot the affairs of Black people in Africa going forward. Because without them, Africa is doomed, more or less.
Now, I will plead with you to take the next question very softly, because as a Christian, I believe my faith teaches me to render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. Best friend, our president and commander. Now, president is a Sudanese man called Jibril. Do you agree that your information might have been wrong? And you
is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. Aisha Buhari was there. She came back from what they called a lesser Hajj. She was wearing black. She was mourning. If you look at the pictures of northern governors, a minute silence was held at the AU for a late Buhari. Even Her Britannic Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, also penned a condolence message to the people of Nigeria before the cabal took over and asked her to rescind it, which she did. Buhari is dead, and I'm prepared to stake Biafra on it. If you, Dele Momodu, can go and prove to me, I'm not asking you to do anything too complex. If you can go and ask this man you call Buhari, whoever it is in Aso Rock, to come outside, don't do very much, address a panel of Nigerian youths, maybe 20 of them, and speak Buhari's mother tongue, which is Fulfude. I will give up Biafra. I will apologize to him, and I will submit myself to any authority on this earth to do with me as they please. There is no Buhari. Jibril was there. Jibril followed Abba Kyari to Cuba and ran away from there and never came back. The man you have now in Aso Rock is from Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. That's his name. Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. Even Shekau knows who he is personally and was mentioning his name as well. It is not Buhari. The old Buhari that you and I know, the country cannot be burning and he will restrict himself to only 12 minutes of edited broadcast. Impossible. Impossible. Anybody that knows Buhari, even if he's dying, he must speak because he fought in his own understanding to keep Nigeria one. Anything that impacts or threatens the territorial cohesion and integrity of Nigeria, the old Buhari, in fact, he will be in Lagos. The old Buhari will be in Lagos, I'm telling you. But this little, have you not seen him with his fresh hands of a 35-year-old? He cannot wear this. He cannot wear this. Because if he wears this, his ear will bend because it's rubber, silicone. We know about AI technology. It's deep fake. Please Google it. You're a media man, you must know this. I can replicate this very interview with your face showing us having this conversation. Investigators managed to discover that there was actually a microphone, a loudspeaker on the table. It's everything that they claimed that Buhari was saying was coming from a loudspeaker. From a loudspeaker. Very, very sad indeed. These are the things that the world must understand and come to terms with. That the person you are calling Buhari is not Buhari, and I can stake my life on it. If he comes out tomorrow and takes, or should I say, address any press interview live without Garuba Shehu doing this, telling people to cut. If he can come out tomorrow, a panel of journalists will, in fact, no, not journalists because some of them are corrupt, youths will address him. There and then you will know that Buhari is no more. There is no Buhari. No country. How can you have a country you claim you're proud of, and that country is run by 10-minute video recorded every 4 months? What sort of country is that? Every 4 months you issue a pre-recorded video to address 200 million people. What an insult. What an insult. In a time of crisis, there is COVID-19, people are agitating, they're very restive. The only thing you can do is 10 minutes video. Laughable and absolutely absurd. And no sensible person should be able to tolerate it. Buhari is dead, and I stake my life on it.
Please don't stake your life on it, because I am very, very convinced that he is alive. I have been meeting Buhari since 2010, okay? And the last time I met him was 2 years ago inside Aso Rock with a former president of Africa. I met him, we interacted, he cracked jokes with me, he even said, Dele, it seems you've added weight. I am telling you that I am not foolish not to know the person I've been seeing for 10 years. I've worked closely with him on his campaign. And yes, you could have your theory, why you think. You see, my own theory is different. Because he was very sick, a lot of people thought that he would die, and God restored his life. And I think that is why you think he is dead. I am personally convinced that he's alive. I believe that a man like President Olusegun Obasanjo will not go and hold any meeting with a cloned president of Nigeria. If I can't vouch for any other person, I know that Obasanjo will never agree. He will talk.
There is a saying where I come from, Dele. If you see something that is greater than your farm, you sell your barn where your harvest of yam is, where you store your yam, because that is the greatest thing that any Igbo man has in the olden days. If you see something that is greater than your farm, you sell your barn. And you could be a robber. They do not want to expose that the fact that Buhari is dead, because everybody depends on the oil and gas coming from Biafra land. Without oil and gas, Nigeria will be worse than a banana republic. There will be nothing happening there. Nigeria runs what is called a rentier economy. You sell oil and gas to import everything you need, including toothpick, including Indomie and pasta. So what is called the doctrine of stabilization. If you come out and you announce that Buhari is dead, there will be pandemonium everywhere. In fact, the precipitous collapse of Nigeria, it may impact the wider region. That is what the Africa desk at the State Department has been doing for very many years. So if you expose the fact that Buhari is dead, it will cause pandemonium and there will be regional destabilization. And you will have a whole lot more of foreign terrorist groups to contend with. Now you have 7. Many more will come up. They do not want to turn northern Nigeria into another Yemen, Afghanistan, or Syria, or Somalia, for that matter. That is the only reason why they're keeping quiet. And everybody's hoping that he will make it to 2023 so that Aisha can go with the boyfriend and relax, because Buhari is dead. Absolutely dead and confirmed. Look at the hands of your, I can become a trend. You ever seen that little boy they call Tagwe that used to mimic Buhari, speak the way that Buhari does, crack Buhari jokes? That little boy is an Igbo boy. They've not given him a Fulani girl to marry. You know that little boy called Tagwe, he's a comedian. He mimics Buhari. These things happen. People can mimic Obama. People can mimic whoever they want to mimic. There are expert actors who can do all of these things. But let me make this very clear to you. It's a very simple thing. I'm not asking for a DNA test anymore. If Buhari can hold a meeting, the man you call Buhari, with Nigerian youths to ask him questions and speak his mother tongue Fufude, then I will give up. But I can assure you categorically that you are one of those that they have deceived, but they cannot deceive us. It was a well-choreographed, well-planned, and executed with military precision. They knew what they were doing because Britain is in charge. Britain is in charge. The same way they took charge of the NSAS protest. You were there, you were watching. When British High Commissioner went to Lagos, did not see the Lagos State Governor, but saw Tinubu. Not up to 48 hours, the army came and started shooting. And now, as they say, the rest is history. The people controlling you are those that created you. The people that made you a Nigerian are those now in charge of your lives. You are not in charge of Nigeria. They are, and are the ones running the show. And maybe next week, you get another 10 minutes video recorded. The old Buhari couldn't have done that. Ask Obasanjo, how many times did you allow them to broadcast a recorded speech in a time of national crisis? How many times? Obasanjo will tell you no. Jonathan did something. Only this thing that they put up there. Now, I will ask you to put on your face mask. Put it on. Put on your face mask. Let us see. Do you have one with you?
Yeah.
Ask them to bring it for you. Put it on. Your ear will not bend. Your ear can never bend. It's impossible because you're a human being. You have cartilage in your ear. But if this ear is made of silicone, as the one that Aisha's boyfriend is wearing, once you put on mask, your ear will bend. Simple. And that is why we have common sense and brain. Keep asking yourself. They took a picture with Jonathan, with everybody, with Yemi Osinbajo. None of them had their ears bent. Only Buhari's ears were bent. Others were wearing the same mask, but only Buhari's ear was bent, meaning that it's made out of rubber, silicone. The person that's not Buhari can never ever be. Please go ahead.
Okay, so do you have a map for Biafra? Where will it start from and where will it end?
First of all, do you know that if I ask you now, Dele, how many states do you have Igbo people in Nigeria? How many states would you tell me? It's a simple question. You're a journalist.
I would say everywhere.
No. I mean where they are indigenous to, where they come from. There could be Igbo people in Lagos and not from Lagos. The Igbo people. If I ask you right now, how many states in Nigeria do you think that Igbo people are indigenous to? How many would you say? 5 Southeast states? After all, that is the Igbo territory. Is that what you would say?
Yes.
I have a surprise for you. It is 13. Igbo people are indigenous to 13 states of Nigeria, 13. As I told you, those who created Nigeria are in charge of Nigeria. And in order to weaken, to diminish, to render irrelevant every aspiration of an Igbo man, Britain decided to advise the Janjaweed Caliphate to keep redrawing the map until we now have only 5 states. Igbo people are in 13 states. And now let me answer your question. The map of Biafra starts from wherever women tie 2-piece wrapper and ends where they stop tying 2-piece wrapper. In other words, Biafra land starts from Kogi in the north, in Igala land, Idoma, Igede, all the way to Godomigodo, Idu land, in Udo, and going down to Bakassi, after Cross River State, and to Bonny and to Opobo in the south. All these are Biafran territories because if you go there, all the women there to
the 13 states. I want the 13 states, please.
You want me to name for you the 13 states that make up?
Yes, please.
Kogi, are there Igbo people in Kogi? I'm sure the answer is yes.
Yes.
Indigenous. Are there Igbo people in Edo State? Yes. We agree. In Edo State, there are Igbo people. I'm not talking about Tubiaja, which is Ishan. We'll come to that later. I'm even talking about a place called Igbo Akere. Igbo Akere. Are there Igbo people in Delta State? Yes. Are there Igbo people in Benue? In Benue State, I'm asking you, Izi community is in Benue State. They speak Igbo. The largest market you have in Benue belong to the Igbo communities in Benue State. Are there Igbo people in Cross River? Yes. So Igbo people are in Cross River. Are Igbo people in Akwa Ibom? Yes. E2 is in Akwa Ibom. There are Igbo people there. Are there Igbo people in River State? Are there Igbo people there? Of course there are. 90% of River State is Igbo. Dear Igbo people, most people, you have Abi. Add all of them together.
Imo, Anambra, Ebonyi, Abia,
Enugu.
1, 2,
add it to the other 6.
Okay.
5 southeastern states.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think.